Okay, so I need everyone just to visualize something with me right now. A bank robbery. Okay? Visualize a bank robbery. A guy walks into the bank, goes up to the cashier and says, "Can you give me all the money?" What's the cashier gonna do? Probably look at him. If he doesn't have anything in his hands, probably just gonna call security. Guy's gonna get taken out. He's not gonna get any money. Visualize this though. Guy walks into the bank, AK-47. Big extendo clip. 45 rounds, walks into the bank. Can you give me the money? What's the cashier gonna do? Probably gonna give him the money. Al Capone said, "You'll get a lot farther with a gun and a kind word than you would with just a kind word." So, when I was trying to figure out what to do with this topic, I was thinking, how can I apply that? Easy, politics. Well, how do you get a bill passed? How do they get bills passed? They have lobbyists, they have different people campaigning. What do they have that other people don't? What do they have that the other side doesn't? They're looking for an in for their gun. They have money. Money's going to lobby. Money's going to get in. Doesn't necessarily have to be a gun in the literal aspect of bang bang, but it can just be you have leverage. So to just ask someone, please, can you help me? Or if I say, I'll do something for you, you won't get hurt if you help me. She's probably going to have more incentive to help me because it would probably be a better idea for her. You know, so going back to the politics, if you want to get something done, if you want to get a bill passed, you pay off this person, pay off this person, pay off this person, and then that comes around, and then that'll get the bill passed a lot sooner, a lot easier. Whereas if you just go around and you're saying, "Hey, will you help me? I really want to do this. I really want to get this done." So if you can utilize leverage and you can utilize something to assist you, doesn't necessarily have to be a gun, something that's going to hurt somebody, but if you can have something that will help you, you should use it. Because the person who doesn't use, one of the quotes that we did yesterday was, "The man who does not read a good book is no better than the man who doesn't read at all." So if you have leverage, use it. Use it. Utilize it to your advantage. And that's all I have for that topic.
Right, your visualization at the beginning was fine. I think it was, you're doing a very literal translation of the topic, which was okay at the beginning. And then I thought you had a good point where you're saying it's really about having leverage, and I thought that's sort of where you were going. But the only leverage issue that you had an illustration for was in the political field, and the only leverage that you talked about was money. And so it ends up, you kind of sound repetitive a little bit while you're talking about it. I think if you could look in some other contexts where people use leverage, to accomplish the same sort of thing. Marriage, for instance, would be a place where people have different kinds of leverage, or raising kids, for instance, the parents and the kids both have leverage that they use against each other. It'd be easier for you to feel like you were not just trapped in the one spot wandering around on that subject. What the explanation that you gave was fine. As far as it went. There's not really a lot of organization to the presentation, but there's good development of the idea that you have. The presentation issues, for the most part, everything's solid. Your voice projects well. I think you've got very good variety in the voice, and it flows very smoothly, except for the couple of spots where you have to kind of look over your shoulder to see, kind of remind yourself about what the topic is, and toward the end, when you can't quite gracefully figure out where you're finishing up, then there's a little bit of hesitation. Your eye contact with the audience is also pretty solid, although sometimes I do get the feeling that it's not quite furtive, but it's a little brief, and I think you can be a little bit more engaged and maybe judge the audience more as you respond, kind of respond to the feedback that they're giving you. I did tell people I wanted you to kind of change the orientation of your body while you're speaking so that you're including people. I could see that you were doing that, but the way you did it, it looked like you were talking sideways rather than, kind of facing the audience. And so it's almost not quite over the shoulder, but you're always at one angle or the other, and it doesn't seem like it's a deliberate choice. It just seems like it's an accident that you're doing those sorts of things. The anxiety issues, the only ones that I saw maybe a little bit of movement in the feet and the knuckle cracking, which was a little bit awkward. You didn't even realize you did it, did you? Yeah, you'll see. It looks a little anxious. And then at the end, you kind of bail out on the topic. You want a more graceful exit. You've made a point. You've got a good point. Just kind of remind us of what that point is. So it's probably a good idea to have some leverage, not only to have an idea, but also to have some way to get that idea to work. All right. Thank you.